Let me ask you something right now. Are you waking up with purpose, or are you just waking up? Because every single day, life is giving you another chance, another opportunity, another 24 hours to get it right. And if you're not using it to get better, then you're wasting the most precious gift you'll ever receive: time. When the alarm clock goes off in the morning, that sound is not just a signal to wake up, it's a call to purpose. But the problem is, most people don't hear it like that. Most people hit snooze, roll over, and choose comfort over calling. That's where the loss begins. Right there in that first decision. The first moment of your day sets the tone for everything that follows. And if you started passive, you carry passivity into every other part of your life. Waking up with purpose means you don't just open your eyes, you open your mind. You don't just crawl out of bed, you rise with clarity. You get up knowing that time is a gift. And if you're blessed enough to have another day on this earth, then you better show up for it with full energy. Not 50%, not 70%, all of it. Because someone out there doesn't get a second chance today, but you do. See, purpose doesn't mean you always know exactly what you're doing with your life. Purpose means you decide to live on purpose, with intention, with fire, with discipline. It's not about having the perfect plan. It's about waking up every day and choosing to be in control of your time, your habits, and your direction. It's about not drifting. Too many people drift through life. They let the day decide how it's going to go. They check their phone before they even check in with themselves. They're reactive instead of proactive. They respond to life instead of creating it. The most powerful people in the world don't wake up and wait to be told what to do. They wake up and command the day. They don't wait to feel motivated. They get moving and let the motivation catch up. Purpose is a decision you make, not a feeling you wait for. When you wake up with purpose, you don't scroll. You focus. You don't complain. You commit. You don't hope. You execute. Waking up with purpose starts with preparation the night before. You can't expect to rise strong if you go to bed like a mess. Did you plan your goals? Did you visualize what needs to happen? Did you take care of your body so you can bring energy into your morning? This isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Purpose isn't an accident. It's a strategy, a lifestyle. You set it in motion with how you sleep, how you eat, how you plan, and how you decide to ride. When you wake up with purpose, you stop negotiating with the voice that wants to keep you comfortable. That voice that says, 5 more minutes, you've earned a break. You can do it later. No, you cut that voice off. You speak louder than that voice, because you know that comfort is a trap. Sad trap. You don't need 5 more minutes of sleep. You need 5 more steps toward your destiny. It's not always going to feel good. You're not always going to do it. But that's not what this is about. Purpose is about. Purpose is not about feelings. It's about decision. Champions make decisions that are uncomfortable. They wake up when it's dark, when it's cold, when they're tired, when no one's watching, when no one's clapping. Because they know that greatness starts in the dark early hours, before the world even opens its eyes. Purpose-driven mornings create purpose-driven lives. And here's what happens when you start waking up with purpose. Your standards rise. You stop wasting time. You stop letting distractions win. You stop tolerating mediocrity. Because you're no longer drifting, you're steering, you're driving. You're driving. You're choosing. And that changes everything. Every morning is a reset, a fresh page, a brand new chance to write your story. And how you show up in that first hour, what you feed your mind, what you say to yourself, how you move your body, how you structure your time. That's where the momentum is built or broken. Some people say they don't have time to chase their dream, but they've got time to scroll for an hour before getting out of bed. They've got time to complain. They've got time to hit snooze 5 times. Time isn't the problem. Priorities are. And purpose brings priorities into alignment. When you wake up with it, you don't ask, what do I feel like doing today? You ask, what needs to get done to become the person I said I would be? You start your day by getting quiet, not distracted. You take a moment to breathe, to focus, to reflect, to commit. You write your goals. You declare your intentions. You put power behind your first steps. And even if your body is tired, your purpose wakes you up. Even if the day ahead looks difficult, your purpose gives you strength. You begin to realize that you don't serve your emotions. Your emotions serve your mission. That every action you take in those early hours is a brick in the foundation of the life you're building. And if you skip the foundation, don't expect the structure to stand. It starts in the morning. It starts with your mindset. It starts with your choices. Your environment is either pushing you forward or pulling you back. Every single day, the spaces you live in, the people you talk to, the energy around you, all of it is shaping who you are becoming. You cannot grow in chaos. You cannot build focus in a space filled with noise. You cannot pursue greatness if your surroundings are cluttered with distractions, negativity, and things that don't align with your goals. That's why controlling your environment is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. Not once, but every single day. Some people think the environment doesn't matter, that success is all about willpower. Let me tell you the truth. Even the strongest minds crumble in toxic spaces. Even the most focused individuals get thrown off track when they're surrounded by the wrong energy. Your environment is the soil, and you are the seed. You can be a strong seed with endless potential, but if you're planted in dry, toxic, or distracted soil, you won't grow. It doesn't matter how good your intentions are if your environment is working against you. Look around right now. Your room, your home, your workspace. Is it clean or cluttered, organized or chaotic, peaceful or stressful? What you tolerate in your space reflects what you tolerate in your life. If you allow your space to stay messy, scattered, and unkept, that's how your goals will feel too. Messy, scattered, and unkept. Cleaning your space is not just about tidying up. It's about honoring your mind. It's about saying, I value my focus. I value my peace. I value the energy I bring into this day. Every morning before you dive into the world, check your environment. Clear your desk. Make your bed. Eliminate the visual noise. Create a space where you can breathe, think, and move with intention. When your space is clean, your mind is clearer. When your mind is clear, your decisions are sharper. When your decisions are sharper, your results are stronger. It's a domino effect. And it starts with your environment, but it's not just your physical space. It's your digital space too. What are you letting into your phone, your feed, your ears? If you wake up and the first thing you do is scroll through negativity, drama, or mindless content, you already lost the first battle of the day. Your mind is like a sponge. It soaks up what you feed it. So if you're serious about improving your life, you've got to filter what you allow. Cut out the noise. Unfollow the people who drain your energy. Mute the chaos. Subscribe to growth. Listen to things that feed your goals. Read things that challenge your thinking. Watch things that inspire your hustle. That's how you begin to shift the environment within, not just around you. And then there's the people. This might be the hardest part for some of you, but hear this. Not everyone can go where you're going. Not everyone is meant to be in your inner circle. Just because you've known someone for years doesn't mean they deserve a front row seat in your life. If they're not speaking life into you, if they're not helping you grow, if they're not holding you accountable, you need to reassign their access. People either fuel you or drain you. They either help you rise or keep you stuck. Take a hard look at your circle. Are they ambitious? Are they disciplined? Are they striving for more? Or are they stuck in the same excuses, the same patterns, the same stories they've been telling for years? Energy is contagious. If you surround yourself with people who complain, procrastinate, and settle, you will slowly become one of them. Not because you want to, but because that environment conditions your habits and mindset. You need people who challenge you, who hold you to a higher stand, who see the greatness in you even when you forget. You need people who won't let you off the hook, who won't let you lower your stance, who won't let you make excuses. That kind of environment doesn't just support growth, it demands it. Sometimes the most radical transformation comes from changing where you are, and who you're around. Your environment is not permanent. You can shift it, you can upgrade it, you can design it to match your vision, not your past. Start with what you can control. Start with your room, your schedule, your digital intake. Then move on to your relationships, your conversations, your habits. Don't wait until everything feels perfect to make the change. Perfection isn't the goal. Alignment is. Align your space with your values. Align your time with your mission. You can align your relationships with your standards. Every day, check in with your environment like your life depends on it. Because it does. Small changes in your surroundings lead to massive shifts in your behavior. When you walk into a space that's clean, calm, and focused, your body reacts. Your brain sharpens, your spirit rises. You show up different. You think clearer. You work harder. You dream bigger. And most importantly, you believe deeper. Because everything around you is reinforcing the message. This is who I am. This is where I'm going. What you put into your mind every day shapes who you become. Every thought, every word, every idea you allow inside either pushes you forward or oars you back. Feeding your mind is not optional if you want to grow. It's essential. Just like your body needs fuel to move, your mind needs the right fuel to think, to focus, to create, and to execute. But too many people go through life starving mentally. They consume junk information, mindless entertainment, and empty conversation. And then they wonder why they feel stuck, confused, or unmotivated. Feeding your mind daily means making a commitment to learning, to growing, and to challenging the way you see the world. It means understanding that your mindset is like a muscle. And if you're not training it, it gets weak. You can't expect strength without struggle. You can't expect clarity without input. You can't expect transformation if the only thing you feed your brain is noise. So you have to be intentional. You have to treat your mind like a garden. And every day, you have to pull the weeds and plant the seeds. Books are one of the most powerful tools you have. Reading even 10 pages a day can change the entire trajectory of your life. Because when you read, you're not just absorbing information. You're stretching your perspective. You're entering the minds of great thinkers, leaders, and achievers. You're learning from their mistakes, their strategies, their mindset. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to study the people who've already built it and rode it up the mountain. And it's not just books. It's podcasts, interviews, articles, documentaries, seminars. There's no shortage of knowledge out there. In fact, we live in a time where information is more accessible than ever. The question is, are you using it to grow or are you using it to escape? Because that's the difference between feeding your mind and numbing it. There's a difference between watching something that entertains you and something that elevates you. And if you want to elevate your life, you got to be ruthless about what gets your attention. One of the biggest reasons people don't grow is because they keep listening to the same voices, thinking the same thoughts, and repeating the same patterns. They don't challenge themselves. They don't question what they believe. They stay in echo chambers that keep them comfortable. But real growth happens when you expose yourself to new ideas, when you allow yourself to be uncomfortable, when you admit that you don't know everything and you become a student again. Lifelong learning is not a theory, it's a necessity. The world is evolving fast, and if you're not learning, you're falling behind. Feeding your mind is about more than education. It's about transformation. Because what you consume begins to affect how you speak, how you behave, and what you expect from yourself. If you constantly consume doubt, fear, negativity, gossip, and limitation, don't be surprised when you start thinking small, speaking defeat, and quitting before you even try. But if you fill your mind with belief, strategy, wisdom, and faith, then that's what begins to overflow. You begin to talk differently. You walk differently. You make decisions differently. You begin to act like the person you're trying to become, not the person you've always been. And here's the thing. This isn't something you do once a week. This is something you do every single day. Just like you eat daily. Just like you sleep daily. You need to feed your mind daily. Not when it's convenient. Not when you feel like it. Daily. Even 10 minutes a day of focused learning compounds over time. That's over 60 hours a year of new mindset, new wisdom, new ideas. That's how you separate yourself. That's how you grow when others plateau. That's how you develop the kind of mental strength that doesn't break under pressure. You have to become hungry for knowledge, curious about excellence, obsessed with learning from every situation, even failure. The best learners don't just read books, they study life. They watch their habits, they evaluate their results, they reflect on their mistakes. Every win teaches them something, and every loss teaches them more. They don't wait for life to teach them. They go out looking for the lesson. Sometimes you have to change what you're feeding your mind before your situation starts to change. You can't keep talking about success, but only feeding your mind distraction. You can't keep dreaming about a better life, but spending your time on content that keeps you small. It doesn't work like that. Your input becomes your output. If you want to level up your results, you have to level up what you allow in. And it's not always exciting. Feeding your mind isn't about hype. It's about discipline. Sometimes it's boring. Sometimes it feels slow. But that's how compound growth works. You don't see the results on day one. You don't feel different after one book, but after 6 months, a year, 2 years, you're not even the same person because you made a decision most people won't make. To invest in your mind every day, no matter what, your body is your foundation. It is the vessel that carries your dreams, your energy, your discipline, and your grind. And too many people are trying to build a successful life on top of a body that's running on fumes. You can't execute your vision at the highest level if you're always tired, always sick, always sluggish. You can't lead, create, serve, or show up with power if your body is breaking down from the inside out. Taking care of your body isn't just about looking good. It's about being good. Feeling good. Functioning at your highest level so you can do the work that matters most. Every single day you have to move. It doesn't have to be a perfect workout. It doesn't have to be 2 hours in the gym, but it has to be something. A walk, a stretch, a run, a set of push-ups, a bike ride. Your body is designed to move. When you sit still for too long, not just your body, but your mindset starts to decline. Movement unlocks energy. It shakes off the stress. It sharpens your focus. It boosts your mood. It resets your rhythm. And when you make movement a daily priority, you send a message to yourself that says, I value my health. I take care of what carries me. It's about energy. You can have all the ambition in the world, but if your body is drained, your ambition won't mean anything. That morning workout, that healthy meal, that extra hour of sleep, those are performance tools. Those are the things that fuel your ability to think clearly, speak powerfully, and act decisively. You want to be sharper in meetings? Move your body. You want to think faster, feel stronger, and last longer in your hustle? Move your body. You want to stop feeling stuck, foggy, and heavy? Move your body. It doesn't just change how you look. It changes how you lead. Too often, people wait until their health fails before they start taking it seriously. But you don't have to break before you build. You don't have to wait until the doctor gives you a warning to start drinking more water, sleeping better, eating cleaner, and prioritizing physical strength. You don't need a crisis to start caring. You need a commitment. Every day, your choices are either building your body up or breaking it down. Every skipped workout, every processed meal, every late night, every excuse, it adds up. And eventually, your body starts to send signals. Signals that say, you're not taking care of me. And when the body shuts down, everything else gets harder. It's about discipline, not motivation. Sure? You're not always going to feel like moving. You're not always going to be in the mood to exercise. But that's the point. You move anyway. You sweat anyway. You stretch, lift, jump, push, breathe. Anyway, because the act of doing it, even when you don't want to, is what builds strength. That's where the transformation begins. Not in the perfect workout, but in the decision to move. The decision to show up for your body the same way you show up for your goals. This isn't about becoming a bodybuilder or a fitness model. It's about becoming the kind of person who honors their body as much as they honor their vision. You don't need a six-pack to be successful, but you do need energy. You do need endurance. You do need clarity, and all of that comes from how you treat your body on a daily basis. Food is fuel, not a reward. Sleep is recovery, not a luxury. Hydration is necessity, not an afterthought. These are not small things. They are core habits that support everything else you want to achieve. Your body also holds your stress, your tension, your anxiety. And if you're not releasing it through movement, it builds, it stores, it festers. That's why so many people feel irritable, overwhelmed, and mentally exhausted because they're carrying everything inside with no outlet. When you move your body, you release what you've been holding. You breathe deeper, you loosen the grip, you reconnect with your strength. And that's not just physical, that's emotional, that's mental, that's spiritual. It's a daily practice. It's not about perfection. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to move. Start where you are with what you have for 5 minutes, then 10, then more. Build momentum. Create the habit. Watch how your energy begins to shift. Watch how your confidence begins to grow. Watch how your discipline in the gym starts spilling over into other areas. Your business, your relationships, your mindset, it's all connected. How you do one thing is how you do everything. And when you train your body, you're training your willpower, your self-respect, and your resilience. Your body is not a separate part of your success. It's the engine. And if the engine is strong, you can go further, faster, and with more fire. It doesn't matter how big your dreams are if your body can't carry them. It doesn't matter how smart your plans are if your energy doesn't last. So treat your body like it matters. It's like it's sacred, like it's the difference maker. Because it is. Every rep counts, every step counts. Every step counts. Every choice adds up. And it starts the moment you decide to move. The people you surround yourself with are a reflection of who you are and who you're becoming. Every conversation, every interaction, every piece of energy exchanged between you and those around you is either adding to your growth or subtracting from it. You cannot talk about wanting to level up your life while keeping company with people who are stuck in the same mindset, the same complaints, and the same limitations they've been carrying for years. You have to protect your circle like your life depends on it, because it does. Your dreams are too important to be suffocated by small talk, negative energy, or mediocre ambition. Every day you wake up, your influence. Whether you like it or not, whether you admit it or not, the people closest to you are shaping your habits, your beliefs, and your behavior. If you're constantly surrounded by people who make excuses, who settle, who joke about quitting, who downplay hard work, it will wear you down. That mindset will creep into you slowly, silently, until you start lowering your standards just to stay comfortable in the crowd. But you are not built for comfort. You were built for growth. And growth requires alignment. Look at your inner circle. Are they pushing you forward or pulling you back? Are they calling you higher or keeping you the same? Are they challenging your potential or stroking your ego? So you don't feel the need to improve? You need people around you who are hungry, people who are grinding, people who are disciplined, people who don't just talk about goals. They wake up early, stay up late, and do the work day after day to make them real. That kind of energy is contagious. That kind of circle doesn't let you fall behind. They hold you accountable. They check your excuses. They remind you of who you said you wanted to become. This doesn't mean you cut off every friend who isn't grinding 24/7. It means you become aware of what kind of energy is influencing you most. There's a difference between loyalty and limitation. You can love people from a distance. You can support them without shrinking yourself. But when it comes to your inner circle, the people who speak into your life, who know your weaknesses, who influence your mindset, those seats have to be earned. They're not guaranteed because of time. They're secure through alignment. You also need mentors, even if you don't know them personally. Find people who are doing what you want to do. Learn from their stories, their strategies, their mindset. Read their books. Watch their interviews. Study their work ethic. You don't need to be in the same room to be mentored. Proximity doesn't just come from presence. It comes from pursuit. Who you study becomes part of your circle too. So be intentional, be strategic. Surround yourself with wisdom, discipline, and vision, whether it's face-to-face or through what you consume. And don't just seek out people who make you feel good. Seek out people who make you better. The ones who tell you the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. The ones who won't let you play small, who won't let you slide on your commitment, who won't let you quit when things get hard. Those are the people who are rare. And when you find them, hold them close. Because they're not just friends, they're mirrors. They show you where you're falling short, but they also remind you of how much power you have inside. You also have to be that kind of person for others. It's not just about taking from your circle. It's about contributing. Are you showing up with energy, discipline, and purpose? Are you adding value, or are you draining it? Are you bringing solutions or just problems? If you want to be surrounded by high-level people, you have to become high-level yourself. It's not just about what they can do for you. It's about what you bring to the table. You attract what you reflect. So check your own energy before you check anyone else's. And sometimes the hardest part of leveling up your circle is letting go. You've outgrown certain conversation. You've outgrown certain habits. You've outgrown certain habit. You've outgrown the need to be liked by everyone. That's not arrogant. When you're serious about building the life you want, you stop begging people to understand. You stop dragging people who don't want to move. You stop apologizing for wanting more. Because the truth is, not everyone can come with you. Not everyone can come with you. Not everyone has the capacity for the climb you're on. But the right people will. The right people won't compete with you. They'll collaborate. They won't gossip. They'll grow. They won't mock your ambition. They'll match it. They won't question your drive. They'll fuel it. Those are the people who make you sharper, who make you bolder, who make you more disciplined. And if you don't have those people around you right now, it's time to seek them out. Put yourself in rooms where you feel benign, where you feel stretched, where you're not the smartest person. That's how you grow. That's how you evolve. That's how you surround yourself with the kind of energy that builds empires. Time is the most valuable currency you will ever own. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose possessions and replace them. But once time is gone, it's gone forever. And yet, most people treat time like they've got an unlimited supply. They waste it. They ignore it. They hand it over to distractions, to people who don't respect it, to habits that don't deserve it. If you want to improve your life in a real lasting way, you have to learn to protect your time like your future depends on it, because it does. Every single day is a chance to move forward, to build, to improve, to become. And if you let that day slip by, you don't just lose time. You lose progress, you lose momentum. You lose part of the life you're trying to create. Time management isn't just about scheduling. It's about priorities. It's about values. It's about looking at how you're spending your minutes and asking, is this moving me closer to who I want to be? Every scroll, every distraction, every unnecessary conversation, every hour lost of procrastination, that's time you can't get back. And the scary thing is, most people don't realize how much time they're wasting until it's too late, until they're burned out, behind, or waking up to a life that looks nothing like what they imagined because they never took control of their days. You have to be ruthless about where your time goes. Not every invitation deserves a yes. Not every opportunity is aligned with your mission. Not every urgent thing is important. And not every person deserves unlimited access to your hours. You can't keep saying yes to everyone else and no to yourself. You can't keep letting your day get hijacked by other people's chaos, other people's emergencies, other people's priorities. Because every time you do, you delay your own progress. You push back your own goals. You let the world decide who you become instead of taking ownership of your own path. Discipline with time starts with awareness. Track how you spend your hours. Not just your work hours, but your mornings, your evenings, your weekends. Are you using them with purpose, or are they just slipping by in autopilot? Are you starting your day with intention, or just reacting to whatever pops up on your phone? Are your habits reflecting the life you say you want, or are they just comfortable routines that keep you stuck? Time doesn't lie. Your calendar is the most honest reflection of your priorities. Look at it. Study it. Adjust it. And once you see the gaps, you fill them with purpose. You start choosing your day instead of drifting through it. You start putting your goals on the calendar, not just your obligations. You block time for your dreams, your learning, your health, your growth. Because if you don't, nobody else will. The world is loud. It's busy. It will always give you something to do, something to chase, but not everything deserves your time. You have to be clear on what matters. And once you know what matters, you protect it like your future depends on it. This also means learning how to say no, not just to distractions, but to good things that aren't the right things. Opportunities that sound exciting but don't align with your long-term vision. Requests that come from a good place but pull you away from your priorities. Events, meetings, conversations, if it's not moving you forward, it might be holding you back. And that's not selfish, that's clarity. That's focus. That's being a steward of your time. Because when you respect your time, you teach others to respect it too. Time management is also about energy management. It's not just how many hours you have. It's what you're doing with them. Are you using your peak energy to scroll or to build? Are you giving your best self to your goals or to meaningless distractions? You have to know yourself. Know when you're sharp. Know when you're focused. Know when your creativity flows. And then structure your day around that. Don't waste your prime time on busy work. Don't give your best hours to tasks that could be done by anyone. Save your power for the work that truly matters. The little things add up. 10 minutes wasted every day is 60 hours wasted every year. 1 hour of distraction daily is 15 full days lost. Imagine what you could create, build or change in those 15 days. Imagine what your life could look like if you just took back the time you've been giving away to things that don't deserve it. That's the power of awareness. That's the power of discipline. You start seeing time as a tool, not just a measurement. You start using it to create a future that excites you instead of a routine that drains you. And once you lock into that mindset, everything changes. You stop waiting for the perfect time. You stop saying, I'll start next week or I'll do it when things slow down. You realize that there is no perfect moment. There is only now, and now is all you need. You start treating your hours like gold. You become intentional with your schedule. You become unavailable to anything that wastes your potential. You stop chasing time and you start commanding it. That's how you shift. That's how you grow. That's how you build a life that reflects the greatness within you, so now it's on you. You've got the vision, you got the fire, you got the awareness. But none of that means anything if you don't apply it. Every day is a blank check. Every moment is a chance to decide who you're becoming. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need commitment. Small things done daily lead to massive transformation. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Build the habits. Guard your time. Choose your circle. Move your body. Master your mind. Because the life you want isn't built in the future. It's built in the daily. And the daily starts right now.